move over here with that. You can't hear me? The move down here was necessary. It's a legal thing. We far exceeded the capacity of that building. Nobody foresaw that there was going to be this many. Let's not take up too much time. Here's another thing. Right? This is not the Jerry Springer show. We're not going to conduct ourselves like that. We're going to have an orderly meeting so that people can hear what this person has to say, what they have to say, what the commissioners discuss. If it gets out of order, one of these gentlemen around here will escort you out the building. Okay? We want to hear each other. I want to hear you. You want to hear us. What we have to say as well. Okay? So we'll do it that way. Welcome you all. Please set your readers off your phones so we're not interrupted with empty calls and whatnot. All right? And if you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, we have a flag. Don't forget to stand. Everybody knows the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
I call to order right now the fourth special call meeting of the Meade County Planning and Zoning Commission. And Connie, if you do the roll call, please.
Commissioner Garcia?
Here.
Commissioner Doman? Here. Commissioner Latondras? Here. Commissioner Mattingly? Here. Commissioner Beckett? Here. Commissioner Lanham?
Here. Okay. We have a quorum. Okay. I want to dispel some false information and wrong ideas that some people have on how things happen in our county. Changing ordinances or changing zonings and that sort of thing. I saw a lot of stuff on Facebook that was so inaccurate, I felt compelled to bring this to your attention. And I want to say, this is how a rezoning happens. Because a lot of people think that something else, okay? First, I want to be clear, rezoning is not the permit to build anything. We don't permit buildings on a rezoning. We don't say, you can build this thing on that property now, or anything like that, all right? Somebody applies for rezoning, they're asking to rezone that property for the right kind of thing that they want to put on it, whether it's a farm, or industry, commercial, that sort of thing, okay? That's what a rezoning is all about. If it's approved, the application would still go through additional permitting and review. In other words, we do R1, which is residential 1. Somebody wants to put a house on it, they still have to come to planning and zoning to get a permit. Give us a plan of what the house looks like. Make sure it meets all the setbacks requirements, septic, and all those things. Okay? That's what happens in planning and zoning, one of the many. So it has an additional permitting process. That's a house, that's a commercial building, that's an industrial place. All of those things have to come back and get permitted. And they have to show us information on what they're going to do with that property. Okay? A lot of people called up thinking that the planning and zoning staff has a vote in what happens with the commission. And that is just not true. They work on behalf of the commission. They administer that office for the commission. They do administrative duties for the Board of Adjustments as well. Okay? But they do not vote. So anybody who called up and accused them of voting the wrong way, you're way off the mark. They don't vote. They're administrators. They do a real fine job. Okay? The planning commission, we have three primary responsibilities. I want you all to know about. To hear from the applicant, no matter who it is, whether it's a house or a building or a company or whatever, to hear from the applicant. All right? We hear from on their application, and if they choose to come to this meeting, we hear from them if they want to speak to us or you. That's another time that we hear from the applicant. We hear from the public, and that's what we're doing right now. We're going to hear from you all today. All right? In both ways, whether you oppose the measure or whether you're in favor of the measure. All right? And finally, make a recommendation to consider. We consider 3 things. I've interviewed everybody that's on this commission right here. And when I interviewed them, they expressed that there's no politics involved on the planning commission. I'm telling you right now, we don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. We don't care. Guys, I'm telling you.
Everybody liked that one.
Sit down. More time you meet us, the more time we're gonna be here. All right? We go by 3 things. 3 things that we have to be able to say yes to. All right? Is it legal under the zoning laws and comprehensive plan? Is it legal? Is it moral and responsible considering the impact on neighbors and the community? Okay? And does it serve the people of Meade County? No. Just a minute. I wasn't asking you about the specific thing. I'm letting you know what we consider. Okay? And when we consider it's all the people of Meade County. Not just the local people, everyone, we consider that. Okay? After public comments, we generally discuss more, which we're going to do today, and then we either take a vote or table the action. All right? Then the recommendation is then sent to the fiscal court. So we recommend, we are not the final authority, like I saw so many times on Facebook. This is not the last chance that you get to speak on this issue. Like I saw on Facebook and some news media put out, this is not your last chance to do this. This will go before the fiscal court. And on a rezoning, the fiscal court by law has to have 2 readings. They'll read it once, they'll look at it, they'll vote on the general concept of what is being done, and then at another meeting, they'll vote to either finalize it, throw it out, or whatever. And then they can make adjustments, they can put stipulations in there, and that sort of thing. I don't want to get too deep into the law and be here all day. Right. No matter what happens here, okay, it goes to this court. We are not the final authority on this. We recommend. We find facts, we take a look at it, we vote, and then we recommend. Okay?
Seems like the community's spoken.
The other thing I want to talk about is this ordinance that deals with light industrial. A lot of people don't know about the ordinance. That's going to be good. The second reading was tonight. We wrote a very good ordinance, I think. Pretty much takes care of the county as far as control measures and stipulations in there for anybody going into.
I think light industrial includes trucking companies.
Put something up on a light industry. Anybody. Okay? So I wanna go through that real quick. And just bear with me, just a minute. And I'll get 75. Okay. I wrote this part is specifically, this part of that ordinance is specifically for an IT infrastructure. Okay? And if we put that in there to make sure that if anybody wants to come in, that we have something in place that we can work with. Okay? We don't like what's going on. Not gonna happen. If we like what's going on, then they may get a permit. Okay? They have to comply with this section. I'm gonna start reading I'm gonna read it all. We'll be here for a while. I'm gonna read off some highlighted points that I made here that are very important that I think. Okay? And some of the things I can cover. We look at the maximum footprint of the thing. Some of the pictures I saw on Facebook, there's no way that structure maximum height, we look at height as it relates to the surrounding area, okay? That's building height. It has to be on a minimum of 25 acres. In other words, you're not gonna put a bunch of, IT structures or slaughterhouses or anything like that, okay, on light industrial. There's certain setbacks, which are also important. You have 200 feet from any residential or agricultural zone, okay? 100 feet from a business or service zone, 50 feet from any other industrial zone. Okay, so it's 50 setback. All right. Building additional
So
buildings.
you'll have 50 feet.
Primary building there, you want to put 200 additional building there. That building has to conform to all the setbacks, all the noise levels, everything that the major building has to comply with, all of it. Or it's not going to get a permit, I can tell you. It won't be permanent. I can tell you that right now. Okay? So,
42?
our architectural design, and all I'm thinking about, I want to thank Jennifer, our administrator. She administers the office for the commission. She went to 2 different states, several different counties, looked at some of the problems they had, what they were complaining about, and some of those buildings were extremely ugly. So she wrote this stuff up, and it makes sense. And if the front variation building is visible from public roads or residential area, it has to incorporate a visual variation. In other words, it just can't be a plain, ugly old cube like a court. It can't be like that. Okay? And then it needs to have 2 of the following: changes in material, color, or texture. Okay? Setbacks or projections in the ground plane in front of the building, or the side, as in this case may be. Okay? Architectural features such as false windows, trellises, and vertical raised walls. We put that in there so it should comply more with the physiology of the stick out like. Can't hear you again. So it just doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. I use my hands a lot. So, and these are things that have to be approved